Good morning, folks. This is Lunar Impact. A link is provided to this and an accompanying article about the rock recently hitting the moon. NOAA has dumped a ton of info on us, from the drought update to this April's State of the Climate report. Ton of great info in these links beneath the video, including temperature and precipitation in total, region, state, and local division. Had a number of moderate quakes yesterday south of the Atlantic and east to south of Africa. Most interesting tremor was a 5.0 that hit the Caribbean, well above average there. 4-pointer in New Zealand just south of the largest quake of the last 24 hours. Got a couple atomic stories on the RSOE. In Colorado they have found highly radioactive material, enough that one could exceed the yearly radiation limit in moments if nearby. Back east, a crack in the reactor has caused a shutdown at the Sheeran-Harris nuke plant. Also have radioactivity readings causing an evac of a metal yard in South Africa. Alaskan buoy in event mode. You might remember the last few days she's had some odd jolts in short periods of time. Well, this morning she threw caution to the wind and is listening to jump around. That's a 50-meter deviation top to bottom. In China, red tide inundates coastal areas while the highlands are losing a war with the clouds. Rain is causing dozens of deaths. Flooding is ruining crops and homes. It's just a bad situation for an already struggling region. By now, you have heard that tornadoes devastated parts of Texas 2 nights ago. We come to the Environmental Visualization Lab for a look at the beast. Top weather story, though, is the new tropical storm in the eastern Pacific. Let the season begin off the southern coast of Mexico. Solar wind telemetry reveals a steady and stable reading of slightly above average speed and density. Our shield knows it's above average, but still holding fairly well. We're taking measurable plasma penetration, however, into the ionosphere. That's only about half as worrying as whatever they took off the charts here. Watching sunspot development in this leading area, but otherwise, little changes to the spots other than that the lone delta spot within that active region turns to face Earth more and more. It's the red and blue leading the way within the same penumbra. After taking a well-deserved day off from the X flares, the sunspots are ramping up again. This was imaging of an M flare that produced no significant CME last night. I was a few moments late in catching the flare, so the mid and low latitude radio degradation had faded to green. But this morning, I caught her red-handed in the middle of another M flare that hit M3 on the GOES chart. The degradation is much stronger here, and for those who are on point, yes, you see the polar readings indicating that our radiation storm is in day 3 of continued elevation. Only rough part about catching the sun flaring in the act is that the satellites won't be fully updated. If you are watching this, you can get more up-to-date, better shots of this CME via the tools provided to you below this video or in How to Watch the Sun. It was released yesterday for free here on this YouTube channel. There is an optional donation. Most of you know I wanted to rent this video. However, YouTube failed to charge or keep it private until Saturday, so it is what it is, and I appreciate your help. Anyway, this M3 flare did indeed make a CME that we will update tomorrow, but should impact Earth at least moderately. Meanwhile, the NOAA Enlil spiral shows that the final X flare from days ago is actually expected to give us a glancing blow later today. Looking at the gong, the larger fields appear wide open in Earth's direction and set to stay that way for a while, but when we come into the corona, we reveal lots of umbral blocking at this level. But that won't last, as the dark coronal hole down south actually extends up the backside towards the equator on the left. You might see it looking slightly darker. We'll monitor it throughout the day, along with our delta spot, who doesn't seem done yet. Eyes open. No fear, it's 6:45 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's the news. Be safe, everyone.